Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Something Stupid by Captain Everything, and me, your host. And I got my beer glass. My mom-in-law got it for me. Got some Rolling Rock going on today. So, then I got the Joe Biden hotline, if he has to call me. But we're going to talk about podcasts that I like. There's a lot of podcasts that I don't like. You have to go through, Joe got me on podcast, my buddy Joe from work. He got me on the podcast, and I started listening to him and everything. Basically what I like is true crime about murders and stuff and investigating them, and paranormal and weird, mysterious stuff. Well, I'm going to tell you the podcasts that I listen to. And some of them can be better. Like, the thing I have problems with podcasts is they have too much filler. Way too many commercials. But I know you can probably pay to get no commercials. But in the beginning, they chatter and chatter and chatter and chatter. Patreon. Hey, here's our page. They give shout outs, and it's just a waste of time. And they talk about, we only give you Patreon subscriber only. But you end up putting it on the podcast anyways, and at the end they start doing other stuff that takes forever, and it's like I fast forward through a lot of that stuff. But I do like podcasts, and some of them are just really. I thought they were this, but they were not total. Like Dwight Schrute from Rainn Wilson from The Office. He had his own dark air, and I was like, No, it was really dumb. Anyways, this one here I just started listening to, and this one is Excuse Me, That's Illegal, where they talk about like little things that, like, little crimes that happened and everything like that. Talking about some jogger that was pooping in someone's yard all the darn time, and I says, you gotta fix that problem. Just wait out there with a paintball gun or a pepper spray, and you could have just got rid of that problem right there. Someone's gonna be crapping on my sidewalk or my front yard. Hell no, you're just asking for an ass kicking, and you're gonna get it. Anyways, number 2. Strange and Unexplained. These two the next one is I just started listening to as well. Strange and Unexplained, they're pretty good. I like them. They talk about just weird stuff and things that go on in the world and everything. I like that. It was pretty good. Crime Junkie is my third one. I just started listening to them probably about a month, and just really good. I like them. The two on there, but the intro and outro, it's like it's so loud it startles me and it freaks me out. Then I have to turn it down, and when they start talking I have to turn it back up. But other than that, it's pretty good. I like it. Another one this is from Over the Pond. I'm sure GP knows this one. Maybe, I don't know. Magnus Archives. The Magnus Archives. And I put these pictures in here just in case you want to look up the podcast and listen to them. Anyways, they're pretty good. They got what they're about is like some really weird stories that someone archived, and they read them and they kind of investigate them to see if they're true or not. And there's some weird crap going on. The next one is Old Time Radio, and it's where this guy's name is supposed to say suspense. It's like old time people, like people from way back when before TVs, they would character actors and sound foley or whatever. They would put sounds in there and make it go with the story. They tell you a story, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. Zedcast, I actually watch him on YouTube as well. It's called Zeducation. And Zedcast, he talks about stuff that's going on in the world, and it's really interesting. I like and he talks about different stuff, mostly political. But I don't get too much into that. I'm not going to get too much into that. The next one is Obscura, and that's a true crime podcast, and he talks about murders and stuff like that, and investigations, and people going to prison and jail and stuff. Yeah, really good. I enjoy it. The next one is Time Suck by Dan Cummings. He's actually a comedian, and he had these guys on here from another podcast I used to listen to, but I don't listen to them anymore because I can't take. There are two guys. The first guy, I can't remember his name, but there's another guy in there. He just laughs way too much, and he's like, it's like it's just he drags it out, and he just laughs way too freaking much. A little weird, but those guys are True Crime and Sports, or no, Small Town Murder is what those guys are, and they give you a history. If you want to look them up, I'm not going to put the thing in here. Small Town Murder is they do a history on a town that it happened in. Then they go through the person that committed the murder and everything like that. I don't listen to them anymore, anyways. But Time Suck it's basically stuff about like the Illuminati, the Flat Earth, Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard in Scientology. He goes into that and he talks about the history and stuff about it, and he's pretty good. All of these do have a language, explicit language, except for Zedcast. He kind of beeps his stuff out, but for the most part, Zedcast, Crime Junkie, they kind of keep it to a minimum. Anyways, this one here I have to go away from for a little bit because he talks way too much about his personal stuff instead of he has 3 different podcasts. The one I listen to is The Grave Talks. He interviews people that work or own a paranormal house, and they tell you about stuff that happened in there and they can't explain it, and the hauntings of these houses that these people own. And some of them are pretty historical and everything, and they're really interesting. But he has another one, is True Office Horror Stories, or Office Horror Stories. Same guy. I don't listen to that one because it was a 37-minute podcast. They had 3 office stories that were like a minute and a half apiece. And they just go on about talking about their life and these jobs that they had. And I was like, this is stupid. And they have a lot of commercials in there. I don't like that one. And another one he has, The Grave Talks, the Office Horror Stories. And then there's another one where people, True Ghost Stories Online or something. And I don't do that because they don't get to the stories that people sent in enough. They ramble on about personal things in their life, almost like narcissists or something. Anyways, the next one is Tapes from the Dark Side. They don't post up things enough in this one. And they tell you stories that happened and they get from different places and stuff. It's pretty cool. I like it. I just wish they would post up at least once a week. I don't think they even do that. The next one, Tales by Cole. These are stories I think that he found or people give him and he reads them on the air. I can't really remember. I just listened to them today. But it's like stories about horror stories and goofy stuff and everything. It's pretty cool. I like it. This next one, Let's Not Meet. This is about, he gets stories from Reddit, or people send him stories and he reads them on the air about meeting some really weird people, and what really it bugs me to no end, where you have these kids, these 16-year-old kids. Oh, I'm sitting on a park bench and this car pulls up and the guy starts talking to me. I was like, dude, you better have pepper spray out right then. A handgun, a knife, pepper spray, have some kind of self-defense mechanism. I always carry something because you never know. I always carry something. But he tells stories about it, but it really irritates me that a lot of women should be carrying some kind of protection, because there are a lot of freaks out there. Hearing these stories and stuff, there are a lot of freaks out there. Man, I'm telling you. And the next one is Ear Hustle. It's it's a girl going into a San Quentin prison in California and interviewing people that reside there, that are locked up. And they got the one guy, Earline Woods, he's on there. He's really cool. I like the host. I like her a lot. She's really cool. But they're really cool. Two really cool people. I really like them a lot. But they go. And I think Earline gets. I ain't gonna tell you what happens with him. Anyways. But some of the people get out and they talk. They do stories outside of prison. How they're going about business, getting out and finding jobs and stuff. The next one is Small Town Dicks. Now it's a detectives. Now this is one of my favorites, and she actually does the voice of Lisa Simpson, and she has a YouTube channel that I watch, and it's called Oil and Water. But she has detectives, Dan and Dave, that come in. They're twins. They come in and tell stories about what happened when they were cops and detectives, and investigating stuff. Then they'll have guests on that talk about stuff that they went through and stories and everything. Really good stuff. This next one is The Secret Room. Now, what really irritates me about this guy is that he's kind of weird. I don't know. He talks to the people as he's like setting up the interview for like a minute or two, and he's like, "Hey, whatever, how you doing today? Whatever. Okay, we're gonna set up here." And then he starts the interview, act like they just started talking. Like, "Hey, Tom, welcome to the secret room. You were just talking for a little bit. Why don't you start the podcast in the beginning?" But anyways, that's a pretty good one. And another one of my favorite ones is True Crime All the Time. Now these two guys, you got Mike and Mike Gibson and Mike Ferguson. Mike Ferguson is the main host, and Mike Gibson is on the side. They talk about murders and people and stuff like like Jeffrey Dahmer and all these other people. And they have two other podcasts as well. Criminology is another one where they dive a little bit deeper into it. I don't listen to it. And then True Crime All the Time Unsolved, where they do unsolved things. And I hate those. I don't like those. I like where they get the bad guy, and they lock him up or something, And, man, but I really like them. I really do. I listen to all their podcasts. Some of these I'm not all the way caught up on. I got a long way to go. And now this is my favorite one. When I first started listening to him, it's a son and daughter. I started listening to him. I thought it was real ghost stories by real people, and then they say true ghost stories by real people. And I'm actually on Facebook. I joined their group. I like them so much. And the language they use is really explicit, but they talk about ghost stories that happened in their life, and they're basically sensitive, and they talk about things that they're able to do and stuff. Fantastic, down to earth people. Language is really explicit, but it's funny. These two have me cracking up. Tiki is his mom. Walter is hilarious. I love hearing him going off on rants. He's hilarious. I'm telling you, they're my favorite. But unfortunately, he is in the hospital recovering he's very sick, and I wish him the best. He's in my prayers. Please send your prayers out to him and the family. They're on Facebook. You can go to the Facebook group, join them. You can listen to all their podcasts. I really urge you to do it. It's just a great podcast. It's my absolute favorite, and I listen to all of them, but they haven't posted any up because he's in a hospital, and he's been in the hospital probably for about 7 or 8 months now, I think, at least. And I can't remember what it is, but it's a kind of leukemia. So download their podcast, check them out. You'll laugh. And That's one of the reasons why I joined Facebook, was to join that group and start up my own group of Captain Everything. If you want to come in and join the group, it's great, because I post up little videos that won't post up on YouTube, and little pictures and stuff that I take and stuff. And but that's basically it, folks. That's my podcast that I like, and I think they're great. And I mean, there's like so many that I don't like. I used to listen to, but then I just got tired of it. It's just, you know, some people get sidetracked too much. They don't stay on the thing. They go off on this, they go off on that. And I was like, the heck with that crap. But don't you ring. But that's about it. Those are all the podcasts I like. Hey, if you have any that you think that I would like. I like true crime. I don't care for comedy that much. I don't know. I just can't find anything. But true crime and ghost stories and paranormal crap. So there you go. Let me know in the comment section below which ones you like, or even if you listen to the ones I do. That'd be pretty cool. So there you go, folks. I'm glad you tuned in, and I'm going to enjoy this Rolling Rock, and that's about it. I don't know. Go eat. Cheers.